welcome to our 209th, 10 away from the big 219 episode.
Man, I was just talking about the 219 episode also. Me and Bill getting it lined up.
Getting the calendar set for
Yep.
the 219 episode. Oops, I want to show that on stream. Do that. The big 219 episode, 10 away. Not sure when we'll have it, but this is number 209. Remember, we are brought to you by the Contenders Wrestling Academy. So make sure you guys patronize them, thank them.
They just won something this past weekend, right?
The defense scope duels. I think it was middle school duels. No, there's elementary, middle school. I can't. Yeah, they might have been both there. So, that's pretty good. Really good event. I think it's over like Toledo area. Maybe it's in Ohio somewhere. I think that it's been in Toledo, but it might be more Cleveland area or even like Cedar Point. I don't know where it is. I was busy at the Fort Wayne Snyder Panther Nation elementary duels this weekend. So
is that what it's called, Panther Nation?
Yes, Panther Nation. Got to see Brian Tunn. I complained to the manager a lot about everything. So, and so So big week of wrestling. I guess one of the last things we were talking about, the pre-show was about ready to go about 3 hours if I didn't just say, let's go.
Yeah. So, we were digging into walking down memory lane.
Yeah. So one of the big news things that we were just talking about, Clinton Shepard to Penn State. I think that's a huge thing. Sounds like he was pretty excited to commit there. So,
sounds like they brought a nice convoy of coaches out and an former Indiana star, and they're locking up another one. So excited for Clinton.
Yeah, I think he's a great fit for them, and I think that he fits the Penn State mold, not only being a really good wrestler, but also just kind of the character and everything. That's when I saw Penn State was in the mix, I was like, man, I can't imagine, and I know like a lot of guys actually have to do this, but telling Cale Sanderson, now your program's not good enough for me. I can't even imagine that.
Well, I think the first time he came to the region, I think he was told thanks, but no thanks.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think he's had a couple that he's came out. We were talking about some region ties with Cale also. And the last time he came out, and I think people we always talk about like the generation now, but David Maldonado and Cale Sanderson were teammates, and every time he goes to Crown Point to recruit, he's like, I think my buddy like coaches around here. Like I know that's like probably one of their biggest rivals.
Yes.
And I know that like I believe Dave was a senior. Where did we say Dave was a senior when Cale was a freshman?
Sophomore.
Yeah. And then I know his brother Billy was on the team with them for a couple of years too. So they have a pretty close relationship. I'm sure there's probably some, hey, like, how's this guy? And they're probably like, yeah, he's really good character.
Yeah, I find it funny because we do kind of forget that like Dave was a really good wrestler in college. Wrestled at Iowa State, NCAA qualifier, and you kind of, since it's been a few years, and then the best is, Cale says that in literally one of their biggest rivals' rooms. And he brings up the name of like the rivals coach. Like what?
Yeah, and like the great dude. I know when Leroy was coaching at Portage, there was a lot of, and I think people knew that Leroy was really good. Obviously, probably not to the level that like people like didn't remember that he was a multiple-time All-American, like multiple-time semifinalist, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's a good coach. It's like, yeah, like he was a really good wrestler. And I remember he would have the relationships, obviously, in the coaching world too, where that's why it's always one of those things, like be a good dude, because those guys all know each other also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, I'm sure Cale might say, hey, is that kid from around your area? He's like, you heard? I get stuff from college coaches asking about kids. And a lot of the times they're maybe interested in a little bit of their wrestling skills, but a lot of times it's, have you heard anything that might make me not want to take him on my team? Yeah. And and that's the biggest thing. And I know you speak about Penn State. They look for very high character kids, and they are known to kind of wait. And I don't think Kale, they were on their initial list, and they kind of just ease their way in, slide in the DMs, as the kids will say, and all of a sudden you're committed there. So they don't. I don't know. It's a weird what they do. Whatever they're doing, the way they find their kids, they have a mold, and it's working really well.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have probably 4 of the best 33s in the country.
Yeah.
And I mean, they all can't. And guys stay. Like, not a lot of guys leave, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of guys that are sitting behind some of those guys are out the door. I mean, a little bit. I mean, more this year now with Taylor at Oklahoma State. But in the past, like, guys have waited their turn.
Yeah. Yeah. So great program. Excited for Clinton. I'm talk to him probably this weekend. I'm sure that's a kind of a relief off his shoulders. Now he can just concentrate on wrestling. Got a big tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
Sounds like he'll be at 144 from what some rumors are having it. Some brains are talking about. So that'll be good for him. Hopefully, I'd love to have 3 or 4 Indiana Ironman champs. I'll take 1 though. I'll take 1. 1 is better than 0. We have had 0 yet, and I think he's one of the better. He's one of the kids with the better chances of bringing back a title. I think he might have a Rainey in his weight too, so that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, they wrestled before, right?
I don't know. We've been talking about that on the board today. So
did they wrestle in Vegas a couple of years ago?
They might have. I wouldn't know offhand, but they're pretty good. Yeah. I know someone. I'm pretty positive they might be from Kentucky. They're saying, "Oh, Rainey's would like win 4 titles." Yeah,
yeah, they'd probably win 4 titles in a lot of states.
Yeah, any state that doesn't have Jax Forrest or Bo Bassett, they're a favorite to probably win 4 titles.
And maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Joe, there you go. Joey has it. I'm pretty sure they wrestled at some point.
So that should be a good match. I'm excited for. We'll talk about Iron Man a little bit later, but excited to see that. And obviously, congrats to the Shepherds. They're gonna, hopefully the flights to Penn State are cheap.
Yeah,
maybe they get their pilot's license to fly over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad of a drive, right? What is it to Penn State, you think?
From Crown Point?
6 hours?
Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty close. I'm like 20 minutes down the road.
Add about 2.5.
8 hours?
It's 8:40. It's like one road though. It's basically 80-90 all the way there.
Get to go see through Cleveland.
Yeah. No one vacations in Cleveland. So.
Yeah, it's 9 hours and 8 minutes for me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a let's see, from Fort Wayne. It's a little bit. I mean, we went out there. They great ice cream there. So that's 6 hours. It's 2 hours less. 6 hours 40 minutes from Fort Wayne. So it's a little bit of a haul.
Yeah.
So I mean, get pilot's license and you can just take a day trip over there or whatever. So
I mean, they wrestled in the Big Ten. Maybe they'll be at Northwestern, Purdue.
Yeah. They'll be closer when they wrestle in Iowa and stuff. But no, that's pretty cool. And we don't usually have a lot of juniors commit, but he obviously has 2 more years left of wrestling. He's barely dabbled in his junior year of competing, so that'll be fun. That was one of the biggest newses of the week. Wrestling wise, how much were you able to see, and anything that stuck out to you this weekend?
I was coaching in Iowa, and my phone was going crazy. I was getting a lot of updates from across the state. So I saw, some of the stuff from the Harvest Classic, obviously. Like, there's a lot of region teams there. Shout out to Hanover Central coming out and winning the Harvest. Coach Bradbury. I know there was a couple of teams that had some guys missing, but for the most part, like, that's, you go out there and you wrestle your thing, and they wrestled well. And so I saw that. And then, like, obviously I was getting the updates from Carver and Bridge, which is a top 5 match right off the bat. Like, you don't get to see a lot of top 5 matches this early. And then the LaPorte Super Duel, I was getting some updates from there, like obviously more region stuff. Like obviously you were like the Westfield stuff, and then Dustin was sending me the Jeff stuff. So like they had a lot of good matches there. I didn't get anything down from Mater Day. I didn't hear any of the results. I haven't seen them yet. So we'll get.
Did you give them your fax number?
Man, and I'm not trying to rant on it, but I feel like we get a lot of like hate. Like we don't appreciate that part of the state. Like, yeah, you guys never talk about that part of the state. I love Mater Day. I think the tradition there is amazing. I think, I really do think they missed a great opportunity to have Schaefer wear the tights in Evansville under the lights. I think that would have hit, man. I think that was like one of those things that would have been great, right?
Yes.
But we just don't get a lot of results sent in from there.
Nah. It seems it's just they aren't in any hurry to promote themselves or try to, and then they're, like you said, they're like, oh, you don't give us any love. Like, oh, this is the best. One guy is clamoring that this is the best team that they've seen in a long time from Mater Day, which I think they have had a couple better teams. I think they're young. They're going to be good. But
yeah.
But the person was also saying Union County was a top 10 program, and they are not a top 10 program in the country right now. So I had to double check, but I'm like, they have like 3 really good kids. That's not a top 10 program.
Rossville does have some really good kids. I think Rossville has a good squad.
Yeah, Rossville. I saw them this weekend. They had they're pretty solid. They weren't afraid to go after the big boys and scrapping.
Like, I don't know if it's. Did Frazee get his like eligibility held? I see he's not wrestling right now. I know he transferred from North White. I could probably ask those guys, but I don't think he's been competing.
I
would say that's probably one of the things that like I'm seeing more now, even with the Indiana transfer rules, is like they're like really hammering kids on like pass link, which is crazy to me. And I'm not saying like Frazee's ineligible. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not. I guess. I was getting ready to watch Rosenberger wrestle, and then I saw a squirrel and didn't watch him wrestle.
Yeah, he's really good too.
Yeah, I wanted to see him wrestle because I was asking Weaver, like, okay, which ones? Because they're like 120, 126 area.
And he used to have the best track wrestling profile pick.
Yes. So I was trying to figure out what, and then I saw a squirrel, and then didn't even watch. It's like just totally, That's the I like going to dual meets better because then I don't get distracted as much when there's 8 mats of wrestling, and then I'm like, oh crap, there's a big duel. I mean, I think at the same time as like Noblesville and Homestead was wrestling. That was a really good back and forth duel. So you see a squirrel and then forget that about what the one you're getting ready to watch. So
So like Cathedral Avon was a really good duel. Came out of criteria. We kind of talked about Bridge and Carver in there, and like you just don't get to see. I mean, one, Carver is an incredibly talented freshman. You're going with a guy that was under the lights. They probably trained together some. That's right off the bat. That's pretty good. And Avon's good, where Cathedral's pretty good. So, and I know Cathedral's missing a couple guys also. I know Avon's missing a guy. It sounds like he's injured. We're gonna try to pull some of the injured guys that are out of the rankings just to give some people. I mean, we pulled Dickman out of the rankings the past time, and we got, man, Facebook could be giving you that roast, right?
Yes.
Like, these guys don't even know wrestling. It's like we literally, and I always want to be like, did you watch any of what we said on Monday? Like we literally talked about it, and it's not a disrespectful thing. Like when he's back out there, he's going to be number 1. I'm like, but it's okay to let someone else be number 1 for a little bit, and when he's back on the mat, he'll be number 1. But I think pulling some of those guys out that are injured or going to be out for an extended period of time, I think is good to get some other guys some promotion and get some recognition.
And if they're going to be out, I guess it's not a secret about Digman's supposed to be in the lineup close to the beginning of the year. I don't know exactly when, but he's going to be out he's going to be out most of December. So until we it's at that point where obviously when he comes in, like you said, he's number one. There's no question. I mean, even even if he's on one leg, he's probably going to be number one.
Yeah.
Until he loses, he hasn't lost in Indiana. So, and he's been one of the most time.
If he was injured both knees, I would still have him number one until someone in Indiana beat him.
Yeah, yes. So, and that's one of those things that if they're going to be out for an extended period of time, if it's a week thing, like, hey, he's going to be out this week, just kind of tweak something. They don't want to push it. Okay. But if it's going to be a little bit more of an extended thing, obviously he's going to miss a month and a half, basically. We're probably going to pull him out until we see him on the mat, because at that point it becomes you start getting into January, you're 3 weeks away from sectional. So you're not, I mean, the season, it just got started, but it's about ready to just get in. It seems it's going to go quick. So,
and I think like it doesn't always, like Ken's right. Cathedral had 3 guys out. At least 2 of the guys really impact guys, and then Zaransky's out too. So, tough spot for those guys. I mean, bigger, like they're pretty strong programs, so they can have the depth. I was talking to Hawk about that, about the differences between being at Hanover and being at Crown Point. He said that's like one of the biggest things, and obviously you've done both.
Yeah.
He's like, when you have an injury, you don't have a Logan Haney or a Captor to jump in and like run to a state medal. He said you just don't have a guy. Like you have an injury, you're missing, like that guy's out. You just don't have a guy right there. It's just not that caliber. And he's like, it's different. He's like, we used to have 50 kids at morning practices, and now I'm dealing with like 17. So
and you got a lot. I mean, there's some fun things with it. I always like the challenge of being able to manipulate your lineup to try to, especially if I had like a good, pretty solid JV kid you could put in there and, maybe not get pinned. You just have that kid just scrappy. He might not be the best wrestler, but he's gonna, and then you can bump up a couple kids. And I always love the strategy that's always fun. And it's just each has their good things and bad things, but yeah, it's both those teams have a little bit of depth, and it'll be interesting to see how they end up. Obviously, I'm looking at the box score that was posted. That they had a double forfeit at 26. Cathedral forfeited at 32 and 65.
So they were missing the Lavin at 26 and 2, huh?
Pretty solid. So yeah, that's going to be a different duel if they wrestle later in the season. And obviously it's early. They're not going to, if someone's banged up, they're not going to, nothing's won. So state title's not won this week. It's not won next week. But there's obviously Cathedral plays deep with football and stuff, and they're just getting their feet wet. So and
I think Cathedral is up for a team state spot, right?
Yeah. So that's a good win for them. The head-to-heads. do we just bring up the Notre Dame thing of head-to-heads matter or what?
And unless you're Alabama, then that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can get throttled in the SEC championship game, and it doesn't matter. At some point, I feel like they were just trying to save face. They're like, it's 4th and 1. We're chasing 2 touchdowns. They go, well, go ahead and punt.
Yeah. No, that's hey, I do have a silver lining though with Notre Dame not being in the in the playoff. We guarantee that we will see Vinny Freeman.
I won't guarantee anything. I'm not going to guarantee anything. Like that's still my family vacation time. Maybe that's why Notre Dame declined a bowl. Maybe they're going to Hawaii. But he does have the opportunity to finally compete at the Al Smith.
Well, he competed last year too.
Yeah.
So, but you could see a number 1 versus number 2 at Al Smith. So I'm looking at, I'm a half full type of guy.
I'm half full.
So I'm looking forward to a possible number 1 and 2. And I'm sure there's more, but I know the number 1 and 2 now are likely. Let's see what it will be. The
we're jumping ahead a little bit.
And that's 1, 2. Hanover Central's at Al Smith too, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 11, and 13, and 16. So quite a bit of
weight.
pretty good weight class. So, add in the number 1 and it's going to be a little bit more fun. So, sorry, Devin. I do like Notre Dame, but head-to-heads matter.
I like Notre Dame too, but I think, that's when it's left up to decisions like that. Like, when people say rankings don't matter, like they did there, right?
Yeah, yes, they did. So, as we, on that kind of topic, team state, I did make a post with all the teams that are interested. So take a look at that. If you are interested, Acre, you know who does the seating, right? I know where you live. I can go over to your house right now.
I think
Mr. Acre, come on.
That was one of the things Dane was talking about too. Was and that's you're in the email, right? With all the people that are the committee, the secret committee.
No, I am not. I'm not on the secret committee.
Dang, they just used the information you said. They just didn't.
Yeah. No, I can updated the list a little bit because I see Franklin Central. Oops, he needs to know one team said that they're backing out, but I'll make sure I message him.
Well, I think that like if you're interested in that, make sure you're sending your results and make sure you're posting your results. I think that's like one of the big things too. I know Dane was talking about that yesterday on the Dane and Rex show.
Yes.
Was that everyone's supposed to be using USA bracketing as this, way to like get the seeding right for sectionals, and it doesn't seem like everyone's using it or not using it correctly.
No, they're not. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of a learning curve. My daughter was actually putting in Carroll results today at practice, so I think there's a little bit of a learning curve. So hopefully that gets learned, and it is. I will, I'll give the coaches a little bit of grace, not Harper. I will not give Brad Harper any grace, but they will. There's a little bit of a learning curve, and this is the first big week of wrestling, so they're probably, oh crap, this is what I got to do, and this is very new.
Well, and I think that, and I know Dane's kind of said it in our group text. I'm not gonna like say who did it or who's not doing it, but like there's still coaches out there that are like, yeah, just don't want people to strategize against us. Like, I don't know. We kind of talked about it last week, but like, just go out there and wrestle, man. Like,
be a better coach. That's a fun about coaching is the challenge that I'm gonna try to figure out a way to beat you guys. That's why we coach, is to figure out a way to win. And you're not gaming the system. Guess what? Everyone knows your kids. I can look on Track Wrestling, USA Bracket, whatever, and find out a boatload about your kids. Guess what? There are videos everywhere.
Yeah.
Also.
Peyton Richard. That was another one. Peyton Richards getting pinned. I didn't have that on my card for the weekend.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of upsets. Obviously, I had the article went out this morning because I was busy all day yesterday. So with all the upsets and stuff, so check those out. That should be lots of upsets, and there's going to be a lot more this weekend. So excited for that. If you're interested in Team State, there's an article. Check it out.
They know Tajon's out there, them streets. Donna Morgan, Salem. Yep.
Make sure. I think Dane did update the teams who are interested, so there's a whole page of you can see who's interested, some of their big wins, if they've put in any wins. Like I said, people are kind of figuring some things out, so don't be too. Hopefully, in the next few days, we start seeing a lot more results and people kind of getting things in. Hobart hasn't wrestled any duels yet.
I know. I thought one of theirs got canceled, and they were at the Harvest.
Okay, yeah. So they just they had Griffith and then Wheeler. Okay, because I know Zach's usually pretty good about that. That's what threw me off. Zach's good about it, promoting his programs. That's one thing I can count on Zach for. But I was like, man, they're 0-0.
Yeah, very, very good at promoting the Hobart
Yeah,
breaking.
they always have good graphics and everything. So that's just looking over there. But some good teams there. Maybe I did offer that we should have like a board vote for the the teams on the vote in. If a team gets the most votes, they get an extra vote in the vote in from the fan vote. I think that'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun.
Yes.
Katie Arena had a good weekend too. Lowell and Hobart on Wednesday would be good.
Yeah.
Lowell had a good weekend at LaPorte. They're going to be tough. It looks like Verduzco is going to go 26. I know it's not like making 20 was a tough cut, but he's one of the best guys in their room. So you kind of, instead of killing yourself to make 26, probably good to go 20 or 20 and then just go 26.
Yeah, that'd be good. Good move for him. I mean, he's tough. He's a goer. Great kid. Fun to watch. I mean, he's one of those kids that you just you enjoy to watch because he gets after it the way you want everyone to wrestle. He's one of those kids that, like I've said this before, if everyone wrestles like him, wrestling would be the number one sport.
The match we had with Caleb Noble and the blood round at Super 32 was really good. Caleb Noble was really tough. That was just a really good match.
Yeah. So last week, everything that went down. I was at Westfield for a little bit. Westfield won. Maddox, just so people know, Connor Maddox didn't wrestle because he is wrestling at Connerhan. Basically, is he's didn't wrestle this weekend, and he's going to wrestle at the Carnahan. He's wrestling this weekend, but the team's going to Ohio for Harrison Duels, so he's not losing. Other than losing the wrestling with the duels for the team, he's able to only have to miss one match basically. So if you see the results and see, well, why didn't he wrestle? And it actually probably helps them a lot because they have a pretty good backup 6-pounder that's getting some good matches.
Yeah.
So he didn't wrestle this weekend, but Westfield won it. They won it over Whiteland. Whiteland had a real good day. They beat Ron Colley in a close match. I don't know. I kind of looked a little bit over. I saw a little bit of the results. They just Whiteland. Didn't Big Joe tell you? He's like, keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, he told us that they're going to be good and that their kids club was doing well. There's some really good younger guys. They've been wrestling well, and on the girls' side, they're wrestling really well too.
Yeah, they're number one in the state girls wise. They don't have. I saw their match with Noblesville's in there. They're pretty solid up top, which helps, and then they're solid enough down low because Ron Colley's really good down low.
Yeah,
they're solid enough down there that they were able to hold off on him, and ended up pulling away and winning 35-32. So that's a big win over Ron Colley. I believe Ron Colley beat Homestead later in the 5th place bracket. Whiteland over Noblesville. That was a good one, 35-23. Then Westfield won. Westfield beat Carroll in the other semi, and then Westfield over Whiteland. So Whiteland's, I think they're on the list now. They're kind of sneaky good. They just, it's so hard to tell what they have because they come out of Mooresville, and you're usually talking about the Brownsburg, Avon, Center Grove.
Yeah,
and they're solid top to bottom. They have some good big guys. So,
and I think they're at Trikoff this week too. So,
yep,
they'll have another. And I think Trikoff's going to have a good mix of 2A and 3A squads that are going to be. They'll be able to compete there too.
Yeah, that's going to be. I mean, Whiteland's going to have a resume to get into Team State if they want to get in Team State. They're out there. They're putting it on the line. And they're saying, "Hey, we're going to have a resume, good, bad, ugly."
I know Lowell's at Trikoff also, but they'll be down Stanley, Verduzco, and Hazlet. They're going to Ironman also, right?
Yeah. So Lowell's going to be without their big three. So they're going to not be.
And they have some good depth too. They have a pretty good freshman, 25 or 26 that'll be in there. Obviously losing state champ heavyweight's difficult. For a state medalist heavyweight at any school is difficult. And then obviously they have some depth in the middle there. So
yeah. So other events this week. Actually, let's see. Where are we at here? Carroll beat Homestead. I was at that match. We do have these nice little MVGs, most valuable gorillas. I'll get you some here to give out to wrestlers if any of that people are at events.
Lowell has 5 going to Ironman.
Who's all going?
I thought there was only the 3.
I thought there were 3 too, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, tell us, Kevin, who's all going? But yeah, so we got these nice little gorillas. So if an Indiana person sees you at a meet and you have a big match, win a big, do something good, you might get one. Gave a couple of them. Okay, 3. Kevin. Okay, I was gonna say. So Brownsburg beat Carmel. They're missing 2 others.
I could beat anybody. The 3 are going to Ironman. That's what. That's the old Penn move, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's the old. Yeah. Well, we don't have our full team. We're just gonna wrestle. Yeah. So last week, let's see, Portage
competition for trades. That's pretty cool too.
Oh, nice. Hey, good stuff. New Pal over Fishers. Let's see, any other big ones? Looking at the dual meets, nothing too big. So we had, obviously, I talked about Westfield, the Jeff duels, Shamrock. Trying to see if there's anything else that was kind of big there. Obviously, the Harvest we talked about. Big week. Everyone was wrestling, so get your results in. Anything else from last week? Any other big upsets or anything? Obviously, I'm sure rankings are in the works. We do have some Fort Wayne rankings. I'm gonna probably release in the morning.
Robson and Waller, those are 2 good ones too. Robson welding competition. Good luck, guys.
It's a pretty interesting to the competitions and things like that. But that's a good trade to get into. They can't outsource that.
Yeah,
especially in the region. A lot of jobs with that in the region. So this past week had quite a few. Had some upsets. Drew Heisler had quite a few good matches. Seen some good competition. That's always good to see that that kind of stuff. Obviously, Bridge over Carver was one of the bigger ones. Gavin Kemp had quite a few matches. He beat White Hoppus, lost to Jordan Raines. Raines lost to Suttereth from Noblesville. So have fun with that.
Yeah, those guys usually wrestle a good amount. So
yeah, yes. So the Kemp Hoppus match was pretty good. Hoppus was winning by I think 9 or 10, and Hoppus kind of tweaked his knee. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But those 2 were getting after it. Headlock. I mean, Kemp hit a headlock right off the bat, and then they were having fun and scrapping. So good match for them. Looking at some of the upsets, had some other matches in there. So, but should be Alessio Rezloff over Alex Tatum. So that's a good match. Yeah, the Harvest. So lots of good matches. Obviously, we have a whole article of like the 100 and some matches from this week. So with ranked guys, what do we want to talk about? I did have a.
I'm trying to see. I always like the post where everyone puts notable wins and upsets. Warner over Kincaid, Weimer over Federici, Kincaid over Guevara at 65, Kincaid over Bowser, 13-1, Williams over Metzler. There's going to be a lot of that's a really good tournament. I think Westfield really put together a really good dual tournament that day. There's gonna be a ton of matches that come out of there. There's gonna be people that didn't have a ranking that might have been watch list or might not have been watch list that are gonna come out and make some noise and get on that list, you know. And I think that's across the board. Like that, this weekend was a good weekend with the harvest on the individual side, and then you got all the duels going on.
Yeah. So,
yeah, the Super Bowl, we can go over that. I think.
That one's one I totally glanced over. Obviously, we talked about Cathedral over Avon, and that was a good one for them. Obviously, Cathedral always gets a little bit later of a start, and then they ramp it up. Avon went 4-1. Had some. What do we have? We had the Avon and what the heck? Let's see. You had Greenfield Central and Columbus North. Columbus North Cathedral had some good matches. Columbus North.
Cullen Long and Chase Klein, right? That was a good one.
Yeah. You also had Ratliff. You had Chase Klein. Or no, oops, wrong one. That's Corey Dunn. Where's the Avon? There it is. They have actually put in some results there, so you can look at those. Klein over Cohen Long, ultimate tiebreaker. So that was a good one. That's some of the big ones.
Looked like Harden had a pretty easy day. 54 seconds. Tech fall, forfeit, and fall.
Nice.
He
is on the list to go to Ironman. I know football and stuff. I'm not sure if he will be going there, but I guess we'll find out here soon. So
Ethan Bayless, who had a really good IHPO, 5-0. I know Griffin Larson. I think he was also 5-0. His USA Wrestling bracket picture, pretty good mustache going there.
Yes.
So, I thought we were gonna have an Asher Ratliff Griffin Larson match. I don't think that happened. No, he went 75 in that one. 175 a couple times that day.
So I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Harden is not going to Ironman. I guess not. So I guess we got word. I think Carver might know somebody.
Jackson Lavin 5-0.
Yeah, they have a lot of there. So
I got the lowdown on the Cathedral lineup. They said someone gave me bad information.
So, who gave you bad information, Carver?
No, I didn't get it.
Well, we'll call him out here.
And I mean, just individually, and obviously that's a day of duels, and you're getting matchups. But you have some really good individuals at the Cathedral Super 6, and it's always good. Like over the years, there's been some really good matches there.
Yeah,
Mason Gell's undefeated there.
Royal Kentucky always has some solid kids. Corydon isn't. I mean, they have some good kids there, so it's always good. And I think Greenfield Central, they lost a few guys, but I think they're going to start getting, continuing to be pretty solid.
Yeah, I think they've gone from a good coach to another good coach, which is always not easy.
Yeah. So this week in wrestling, duels, you got the battle for Adams County, Belmont, South Adams, the north and south of Adams County. So they're not bringing in the central yet. Let's see.
You got some good matchups in the middle there.
Yeah. New Pal, Greenfield Central, Chittard and Hamilton Heights. Bloomington South Roncalli will be.
I mean, that Bridge and Carver match is good. I mean, that's going to be a good weight. Like 20 is always a good weight. I think we talked about it on the first show with the rankings. That's just a weight class where you get so many. Like you get guys that are coming from 6, guys that stay at 20, guys that are coming from 13. That's always just like a great weight where it just kind of merges. And you got a lot of guys with hardware in there. So, and a guy that's nationally ranked incoming freshman, in the middle school national rankings coming in. So a good mix. I'm sure that's a match that they've probably had 100 times. And both those guys I mean, I know they've wrestled that. I don't know if they both represent it now. With our providing sponsor, Contenders Wrestling Club.
Yes. So yeah, that's. I mean, 20 is going to be a meat grinder, and all those guys they're gonna beat up on each other all season long, and that's what's going to be fun to see. Al Smith and all the big tournaments. You're going to see them. They're going to be at Team State. They're going to be. You're going to see a lot of those guys hit throughout the season. So it's gonna. We're gonna have changes in the rankings, but also they might stay solid. But you never know because there's a lot that weight's pretty deep with.
And I think, and no disrespect to 106, there's some really talented freshmen in there, but I mean, the weights are like crazy. Like 13, you got Metal, guy that was a regional qualifier, but like beat everyone this summer. Metal, runner-up, Metal, qualifier, really talented freshman, couple-time qualifier. 20, you got champ, a runner-up, incoming freshman, Metal, really talented freshman, Metal, semi-state champion, state qualifier. Dude, everyone at 20, like down through like 16 has been at state unless you're a freshman.
Yeah. And you throw in a kid that's on the national big board.
Yeah. 26, when Dickman's in there, you got 3-time defending state champ. You got Getz, who just beat Don Brown, who's got a medal. Verduzco there now has got a medal. Strayer's got a medal. Voles has got a medal. Ryan Hockaday will be out when Dickman's back. He might be up at 32. Jet McGuire's got a medal. Abram Swathwood had a really good year last year. Probably better wrestling up. Dallas Rosenberg, a really talented freshman. Eli Olgi got a medal. Matthew Baylor got a medal. Like, that's pretty good. Like, I mean, that's almost every weight. I think we said it at the beginning. Like, there's a lot of weights that, like, you're the top 5 to 10 guys have state experience.
Yeah.
The state's getting better, I think, with like the RWAs, the Contenders, How Wrestling, Mauer Coughlin, on top of like the regular clubs, like your town clubs. Midwest does a really good job. Obviously, like they're representing at the highest level. I'm sure I'm forgetting Red Cobra. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I'm not trying to be. The Fort. Warriors. Which these guys are getting so much better. Like, just like getting in the room, that it's making the state as a whole better. So I think I'm for it. But 32, you got Metal. Really talented qualifier. It sounded like he just gave Rainey a good match. A Metal, another Metal in there, another semi-state champ. Like it's crazy the depth at some of the weights.
Yeah, it's it was like I said earlier. In the first episode, I was doing the magazine, and you start seeing these 7 or 8 guys with medals, and you're like, those guys aren't all going to get a medal again. There's no guarantee that. I mean, obviously, the chances are 2 or 3 of them are going to hit up. 2 or 4 of them are going to hit up on Friday night. I mean, even if they do come out of their respective semi-states where we project them right now, they're going to match up. That's just the odds. And it's like, so well, maybe some guys will go up, from 20 to 26. Nope. What about 26 to 13? Nope. And it goes up to about 65, 75, where you actually there's actually a discernible, like, okay, there's not a group of 6 to 10 guys with state experience. So, and that's because of the attrition, because of graduation and stuff, when you start getting to the upper weights, but still, and even heavyweights pretty loaded. So it's not like you can't run anymore now. It's not like I'm going to go up to 26. It's a little bit weak. No, it's not.
And maybe there's some spots where guys are like, I might be able to win I think right now, one of the weights that we get a lot of is like, hey, they're going to vacate. This weight is 65 because MJ Staples is wrestling at a high level.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. And people are like, with Xavier Smith out, like, there's not, I mean, like, how many weights have guys that were in the semis? Like you got 6 as a returning semifinalist, 13 as a champ, number 1, 20 as a returning champ, 2 champs in that weight, a couple finalists. 26 as a champ. 32 as a champ. 38 has a champ, a former champ, and a semifinalist. A 2 semifinal, another finalist. 44 has a finalist, 2 finalists, both runner-ups. 50's got a Fargo champ and a Fargo All-American that was a state champ. Like,
the only weight without a semifinalist returning is 215, and you have Cesar Salas, who is a national stud. Council Lower has some state medal. I mean, both of them have state medals. There's 3 state medals at the top, actually 4 with Wetzel. But yeah, that's and you have Salas, who's had national success. Valero had been on the national scene. Godwise, he was a Fargo All-American, I think, in Greco. So. I mean, you're not going to go up to that weight. You're not going to be like, I'm 190. I want to get away from Michael White and Carol Harden. Yeah, I'm going to go up. No, you're not going to go up there. I mean, there's not any places to really.
Well, that's what we've had some people reach out and they're like, hey, like, we're thinking about this way. It's like, I don't know, man. Eat and lift. It's going to be tough. Like, there's not a lot of open doors there. Like, just keep getting better and competing. But the weights, the rankings are like, have been really good. Like, not that the rankings are good, but the guys 2 rank have been really good. But yeah, so sorry to get sidetracked there, but it's the state's looking like it's in good hands, and a lot of those guys are young too. So like you're not going to have Staples for the next 3 years.
You know, he's not. I mean, yeah, you gotta figure it out. And I mean, you look at some of the just where people are and stuff. It's gonna be, it's gonna be fun to watch. A lot of these guys are going to hit up and to get, and you're seeing the depth. And I think that goes to a lot of, there's a lot of credit that goes to a lot of kids and parents and coaches that are putting in the time. And Indiana's. They're getting there to be national. I think last summer, I mean, I guess we didn't really talk about this the first episode. We were top 8 in both juniors and 16U's national duels, which I pretty positive junior wise, it might be the first time we've ever been top 8. And it was, if it wasn't, it had been 20 to 30 years since we've been that high. But doing that is pretty impressive. That's kind of putting a nice stamp on, what we're doing as a state. And then we had a really good Super 32. We had a good Fargo. It's one of those things. I think Indiana is in a good spot. We just need to continue to stay there. Someone was saying they were like a top 5 state, and I'll say we're not a top 5 state yet. We creep into that area every so often with like in an event, but I think we still need to be consistent to be like in that realm of top 5 to 8 states. I think we're more 8 to 10-ish, 8 to 12-ish. It just depends on the year. But if we can stay where we are right now, we'll kind of solidify us in that little bit lower area.
That was one I missed. Elite Athletic Club, Kevin's club. So that's another club in the region that's putting in the work.
Yes. Yeah. So Indiana's getting there. It's about consistency. If you look at the top states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey, they're always at the top at the big events every year in, year out. We'll have some off years and some good years. It's consistency. I think Indiana's in a good spot. I think we have a great group of young kids. I think we have a great group of, even our juniors and seniors are pretty tough right now. So I think we're in a good spot. It's just a matter of, what's coming up through the pipeline with our middle school right now. And whether those kids going to be able to continue that trajectory that the current high school kids are at. And I think I've seen some kids that I think we have a good mixture. So it bodes well for the state. I think we had a couple guys that were like Tulsa champs this couple weeks ago. So
yeah,
I mean, it tells you that the pipeline's it's going pretty strong. So okay, back to this week.
Yeah,
got some good duels going on. Bloomington South and Roncalli on Wednesday. Center Grove and Cathedral.
Well, that should be a good one. There'll be some good matches in there.
Yeah.
I mean, down low, you're going to have some really, really tough matches.
Yeah, that should be some good matches there. Homestead Prairie Heights. No, Avon Brownsburg is on Wednesday. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. I mean, you have a couple state championship rematches, right?
Yep. New Haven and Garrett. That'll be a good one. Two good teams in the rankings there. That's Wednesday. Mater Dei Memorial. Lowell Hobart on Wednesday. Man, I'd like to be in Portage Maryville Wednesday. Man, I want to be in like 12 different places at once on Wednesday.
Definitely some heavy hitting matches, man.
Northfield, North Miami, two 1A ranked teams on Thursday. Let's see. Franklin Community and Compass East on Thursday. That should be a real good one. Number 2 and 7 and 3A. And then that's the big duels. Jay County, Yorktown, and Delta will all be at the Jay County double duels. They all don't wrestle. I think Jay County wrestled Delta and Yorktown. I don't think Yorktown and Delta will wrestle, possibly because it's Winchester. They only wrestle 2 matches. I don't know exactly how that is. You have Northeast 8 duels where they wrestle all their teams. You have Belmont, New Haven, East Noble, Huntington North, DeKalb, Leo, Columbia City. The PAC duels, that conference, Pike Athletic Conference has like pretty much 90% of these schools south of Indianapolis in their conference, and they all have to wrestle each other in a duel. So it's a like a 7-week process.
I feel like the Lake Athletic Conference used to be like that. It was like you had to wrestle Tuesdays and Thursdays. You had a duel, everyone against your conference, and then you had a dual conference championship, and then the next week you had an individual conference championship.
Yeah. There's 13 teams in the PAC duels in the PAC. Wait, just do a tournament. Just don't. Why do we need to like kill ourselves doing 12 duels? Yeah. Castle, Mater Dei. They'll have Avon, Bloomington South, and Mater Dei.
That's usually a pretty good one.
Yeah, Avon will be missing a few kids. You got the Tom Cameron. Maryville will be there. Hamilton Southeastern. Carroll.
It's a good pickup.
Coach Smith always has some kids that are they're scrappers. They aren't gonna. I know he was an assistant when I was there, but did not like wrestling Plymouth. They just wrestle a style that just frustrates you, and they're just strong, hold good position.
He's a good dude, man. That's a real good dude.
Yeah, and so they always have solid kids. You have the Roncalli duels. Roncalli and New Powell will be there. Brownsburg sends their B squad in Noblesville, so that's going to be a pretty solid event there. Noblesville, I know, is on the vote-in list. I think New Powell might be also, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Trikoff. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but that's really good. That is, you got a couple of tournaments. Clinton Prairie, the Western Invite, Clinton Prairie Invite. Prairie always, Cowan's there. Terre Haute South, Tri West. I thought Carmel used to be there. Rossville. So it should be not a bad event there. The Jim Nicholson, that's one we talked about a little bit last week. The individual. Looks like they only have 7. Penn will be there. Jimtown, Elkhart. And then, so yeah. You want to go over, let's talk about the Trikoff. I think that's going to be a fun one.
I haven't seen the pre-seeds or anything. I don't know if they've been out yet or not. I don't know if Coach Watkins is still doing the seeding for that or not. But
he usually posts about like Tuesday. So I have not seen anything, but man, that's gonna be a good day of wrestling.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week. I like the way they set it up, where you're going to be able to wrestle people that are along the level of what you're doing, right? It's not always going to be like if you're a team that's not as good as the top team, you're not going to have to wrestle the 5 best teams. You're going to wrestle some teams that are there. But I know we were talking last week. They were looking for a squad. I talked to Coach Hidalgo, and he sent me a list of who's all there, which is Franklin, who's got a really solid squad top to bottom. I was talking to Coach Morgan. He's driving up, so he doesn't get to stay in beautiful Gary, Northwest Indiana.
They're driving up the morning of?
He's driving up the morning of. He said the team's going to be there.
I mean, it's the professor. He's not going to ride no bus.
He said, like, I think he told me, do I want to stay at the house with my beautiful wife or sleep in a room with 3 other dudes? So, you put it that way.
Like, one of them's probably Tante. Come on. Tante's a good dude.
Franklin's tough, man. They've been really good. Top to bottom, they're solid. I think he said that there might have like 1 or 2 holes, but overall, like, they're a good squad. New Prairie, obviously, we've talked about New Prairie. They have some horses. They got Staples. I'll touch on Harrison in a second because I don't always talk about Logansport. Staples, Hiver sounds like he's going to end up at 57, which I think is a good move. We kind of talked about not cutting and like just getting stronger, like Hartle Road. So they're going to have, a lot of times where they're going to be favored in 5 or 6 of those matches. Valpo, Coach Cook's team beat Maryville last Wednesday. So I know he has those guys going. They have a good young squad too. A lot of younger guys on the team in the middle. A lot of depth too. Like looking at their USA bracketing, they have a lot of guys with state medals and ISWA. Portage coming off the Harvest Classic. Coach Acuna has a good squad over there. A lot of guys with some state experience coming through there. Hobart, obviously, we talked about Johansson. I know that they close out pretty well. Probably 65 through heavyweight. They're going to be favored in a lot of matches. Fishers, solid. They came up last year. 2 hours up 65. I thought he was coming from the south side. I thought he was on Greenwood side. If he's up,
he's way north. That's an
easy ride.
Yeah.
He can stop at Fair Oaks Farms, get him some ice cream. Go get you a bone-in T-bone, man. It's pretty decent. Southmont, real good 6-pounder. Obviously, we've talked about them. Really good 32 also. I don't think we've talked about Gavin Mason enough.
Yeah, he had a big win this weekend.
Yeah. I think that's a guy that's going to go down there and get some matches and surprise some people. Mishawaka. So Benji Daly bringing it back to Calumet High School, the crew. South Bend Riley, Michigan City. I've seen Isaiah McWilliams in there. They have a good 215, good heavy. Lowell's going to be a little bit down. Sounds like going to be missing like a handful of guys. Missing 5 guys out of anybody's lineup is going to be tough. 6-pound T-bone. Rochester, obviously a really good squad. Top to bottom, they're pretty good too. There's still a couple of guys I haven't seen in their lineup. I don't know if they're there or not. Sounds like Travis Horn's trying to set up a meet and greet on Friday night. Lake Central, real solid, always solid. Cruz Aweta at 13 is going to have tough for everybody. Whiteland, we just talked about. Obviously, a team that's coming up. Hanover Central just won the Harvest. Those guys are battling, man. I think that they have a good system where another guy that probably doesn't get as much credit as he should collegiately, Andrew Bradbury has a very good collegiate resume. I was a very good coach out of state, came back, was at Portage for a couple of years, took over the Hanover Central job, brought on Bill Hawkins, who's a really good coach. Brandon Lopez is over there from Lake Central, and then Calumet to close it out. So good day of duels. Hawkins killing it, man. He's a motivator, man. And I think just Cedar Lake's like a scrappy area. I bet if you talk to a lot of guys from outside of Indiana, they're probably like, man, Stefan Michik, Andrew Howe, those guys all, Ashton Matua is an Olympian. Those all came from the same high school. How many state titles have they won as a school?
Yeah.
The Petrovs. But I think that those guys are going in the right direction. Like just the way that they scrap, I think is like just it'll help you turn the corner. And I always like it because I think I remember Vince told me one time there was a team and they were pretty solid, and early on, like you can grab a couple teams on the main floor that are probably they're going to be in the wrestling room. It just happens. Like there's going to be a bottom four, and he's like, look at that team over there. They're trying to they're acting tough, and I think they ran into a pretty good Portage team. He's like, the problem is that those guys are really tough. Those guys are from somewhere else, and they have to come up here and wrestle these dudes. That this is what they do. It's going to be region, and you're going to get region officials that are going to be quicker with stalls. They're going to be a little bit. I mean, a lot of these guys in the chat has probably wrestled the trike off. It's not easy. There's not you're going to come out of there hurt. You're going to come out of there beat up. Like if you're on that main floor, there's a good chance you're going to get 5 pretty tough matches. And like the last couple of years, there's some teams that have probably dropped. Crown Point's dropped out. Cathedral's dropped out. Floyd used to be in, but they've done a good job of reloading that tournament. And it's just going to be a day where you're going to have some guys that you're going to leave that match feeling like you've been in a fight. Like you're going to be sore. Your neck's going to be sore. You're going to feel it the next day.
So is Michigan City in for is McCutcheon in or Michigan City?
Michigan City.
So McCutcheon is out. Okay.
I think that's Michigan City. I'm pretty sure. I thought Michigan City was in last year.
I guess we'll find out. Oh, leave them both on there. But yeah, so yeah, it's a good. I think they dropped some of the lower tier teams and they brought in some solid. It's going to be a real solid day. I think that first round there's going to be some really good matches. That second round, the round of 8, the quarterfinals, that's going to be some good matches. I'm curious how the seedings come out of that.
Yeah. I think Joe said usually tomorrow. Yeah, I think when I wrestled there as a sophomore, I wrestled 3 guys that had medals, 2 in the semifinals, and I think the one that didn't was Eric Keith. I think he got beat Friday night, which I think he was undefeated going into Friday night.
Yeah.
So I think that every year we've ever been there, well, obviously Kaiman was there. The 3 years I went there wasn't a lot of times where you're like, oh man, we got this layup. We were on the main floor the first 2 years, and then we were on the upstairs wrestling the pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, so that's good, and it's I like the event. The format's great because you get pushed up or down to where your level, and I think I always think that's good for. I know a lot of the coaches I talked to this weekend at Westfield were like, we like that because I mean, sometimes you want to get competitive matches. And if you have a team that might not be good, might not be that good, and you're at a super duel, and like you don't want them to, no one gets anything out of beating a team 60-10.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, if that team goes, loses like that in 5 matches, it's not very much fun for them. But then bring in 16 teams, you're going to have some, different levels of teams, and then that team's going to get a match at maybe it's 40-30, and it's a lot better for them. So it's a good event, and I'm glad to see it. Just the depth is there, especially the top. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how I would necessarily seed it. Obviously, Lowell missing their 3 big guys. That's always one of those big ones that obviously they're missing 5. So that's going to be tough for them, but you're going to have a Franklin, a Mishawaka, New Prairie. Rochester's looking really good right now. I think they're pretty solid top to bottom.
Well, I think you have across like several avenues, right? Like you have Portage, LC are really good, 4A schools. And then 3A, you're going to have Lowell, Hobart, Franklin, Mishawaka, Whitelands at 3A also, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
2A, you're going to have New Prairie and Hanover Central. And Hanover Central coming off a huge win. They can make a statement and say, hey, maybe we can make a bid for the number 1 spot at 2A. And then you have some good one. And then, you have a couple of schools like Rochester in there.
Yeah. I think Southmont's I think they're 1A too. And I fairly certain, I think some people were, I don't know if they're on the list or not, but they're one of those ones that they've been at Team State before. Fisher's a good 4A solid program. This is a solid event top to bottom. And kind of. I'm trying to look at this. Who would you put number one?
Yeah, I think that's tough. Like with like knowing that Lowell's not going to have their guys, like I would have probably gave Lowell the one based on what they had coming back, but missing the 3 going to the Ironman, and then 2 other guys that are hammers, like not going to be there for the welding competition. I'd have to look at what Mishawaka did. I mean, Franklin's probably the one, right? You would think Franklin?
I mean, based on rankings, you're probably looking at someone like Portage, but Franklin's pretty. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'd say. I mean, if you're looking at rankings, I'd say Portage and Franklin, but that's kind of it's getting nitpicky. You got Hobart in there. Dane has Hobart over Franklin right now, as of last week. Yeah, I would. Portage, Franklin are probably number 1, number 2. You're also looking at
what did Portage? Was Portage runner up at the Harvest?
Yeah. So I mean, but then that's also you're looking at their, where does Hanover Central fit in? So, beating them at the Harvest. Obviously, it's a little bit different in duels. So that's I mean, I don't know if that's kind of tough to seed right off the bat. I mean, Franklin, Hanover Central, obviously, and I know they usually, I know when Jim would do it, he kind of would separate some teams based on previous. So they're going to try to hopefully they kind of try to do the same thing. Obviously we don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so you're not gonna they do a good job of you're not gonna have probably Lake Central and Portage or Valpo right off the bat, right? Because those guys are in the same conference, they wrestle a good amount, and then the teams that are generally in the bottom 4, they kind of rotate around. It was always cool, Lake Station, scrappy squad, man. They always had a really scrappy squad, not always contending for a state title. But they were big time. They were going to be out there throwing headlocks. They were out there, doing the thing, right? And they'd always say, hey, who do you want first round? You're going to be on the main floor because the main floor is the top 4 seeds to start off, and you're going to be one of the bottom 4 seeds. Who do you want? And they said, man, give us whoever. They never picked Portage because they're neighbors with Portage and Lake Station. But it'd be Mishawaka when Derek was there. Give us Mishawaka. Let's go see if we can rip some headlocks on them boys. Give us Cathedral. We're gonna go see if these dudes can throw. And I remember just that mentality of hey, we're gonna go out there and they know that they're gonna be going there to get their 5 matches, and that first match is gonna be tough. So, but they're hey, we're just gonna go out there and scrap, and that's just the mentality. So you're gonna have on the main floor, you'll have 4 mats. Kaimet just redid their. I'm gonna stop in. Kaimet just redid their gym. I haven't seen it.
Beautiful. Man.
So you'll have your 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds on the main floor. 5 and 6 start up upstairs, and then 7 and 8 will be in the wrestling room. Which, if you win, you don't have to go back in there. So if you lose 2 times, you're gonna be in the wrestling room for the day. It's a nice wrestling room. I didn't know not everyone had wrestling rooms like that in high school because that was the only wrestling room I had ever been in at that point. But it's still a regular wrestling room they bring a couple bleachers in there. It's hot. It gets hot in there. I don't go unless there's a really good match in there. I'm not going to go to the wrestling room.
You got to really entice Mike to get in there.
Yeah, man.
The refresh memory of being in that room, the weight cuts,
that was there was definitely some blood lost in there. And I don't know how well they mapped them. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, it's definitely locks in the smell a little bit. So
that's one of the cool things I like about that's one of the lures of the Trikoff that you don't have at a regular tournament is where they put everybody, and it's and you always talk. You don't want to be in the wrestling room.
Yeah, they if you're gonna go there and your team may contend for the wrestling room, I'm not gonna say yay or nay. I would bring a small fan, air yourself off. I would bring a extra cologne or not extra cologne, extra deodorant.
And cologne.
Yeah, and cologne. I mean, don't overdo the cologne. 2 dabs is enough. You don't want to but some kind of fan. Get there early. There's only like some small bleacher chairs. So,
yeah.
And then there's like 2 doors you can kind of stand in there. Not a lot of room to warm up in the hallway, but God bless the janitors, man. After that tournament, those like any type of wrestling tournament, but I remember like we had really sweet janitors that worked at Academy when I was there, and these dudes would just wreck these bathrooms. And I remember thinking like, bless your guys' heart.
That's the word. Wrestling tournaments are. Oh, I can't even imagine. Like you imagine like the Coliseum and stuff for IPO and just right after weigh-ins and
terrible.
Yeah.
Not eating right, getting a gut bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, track off. I mean, it's tough, and I like the way it's got. Like, so if you wrestle on the main floor, you move upstairs, and if you move upstairs, you lose there, you end up in the room. So the bottom 4 will be in the room in a kind of a round robin. If you win 1, you'll be up on the brawl behind the wall, which is they have a set of bleachers. They have 2 mats up there, so you'll wrestle a round robin with those guys, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8 will be on the floor.
Yep. So great day of wrestling, and
there's a great Long John Silver's across the street.
Ooh,
Sharks. Right there in the parking lot. I'm trying to think. I know they got a bunch of food trucks over on the corner of Burr and Ridge. If you want to get crazy, go up to the Northern Indiana Hard Rock. I don't know why they didn't just call it the Hard Rock of Gary, but it's right in Black Oak. You can go see.
Where's Horn's meet and greet? Is it going to be?
He doesn't want to go Black Oak. He said we're going to Hammond. We're going to go to Byway Friday night. If you guys want to come hang out.
You're not gonna go where Artie's playing or what?
Dude, I'm telling you, these guys, they'll get a slice of life. They want to go to chips from the Tavern. Now it's like Tavern in the Oaks. You want to go see the pre-fight? Go Friday night, 3 a.m. You watch them scrap right there on Colfax and 25th Ave.
You'll take Horn to your neighborhood. He's like, you ain't in Rochester anymore, Horn.
He told me I should come out there. He said it's a nice little lake town. I said, cool, we got a lake too, bro. We want to come see it. Like, it's different, man. It's a different world. It's nice though. Yeah, if you guys want to go see Artie Fowler, he's at Tavern on the Oaks. I mean, I wouldn't go there, but if I would, because I'm from there. Like, I know the people there. They're not as welcoming to the outsiders. Dude, hey, Joe's not wrong. Hey, you guys go get your Squeegee's Pizza in Griffith. There's a lot of good region food. So
we didn't even speak about that. Do you have community service for not
rankings? I'm gonna have to eat all these pizzas all over again. Yeah, there's a Long John's across. I mean, I wouldn't go to Long John Silver's if you're there. Mr. Goodies is right there. They got pretty good ribs and gyros and stuff. It's a gyro shop. Griffith has a really nice downtown. They have a lot of breweries and stuff. Trying to think where I would send people. Maybe go down by like Highland, if Klein Avenue and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff over there you can eat.
Yeah, there's a lot of good food in the region area. I know.
It's diverse.
My family there, so we go there, and it's not mom and pops types. Or it's mom and pops type places. It's not chain restaurants.
Yeah, man. You wanna here. You can go get your little slice of life, man. You want to go get crazy? You can go to Highland off 45th and get your Romano's ham hoagie if you like mayonnaise. You like mayonnaise, tomatoes, ham, and cheese. That's a real low key like good shebang. I'm sure we got a bunch of region people in here. Trying to think what else is over there. I mean, honestly, I haven't been there in a while. I stopped at my parents' house probably about a month ago, but they give me the business when I go over there a little bit. And I sold out.
Nice. So, the other big event this weekend. I forgot. We do have the ACAC duels, the World Championship, South Adams Central, Jay County, but Iron Man. So I will be heading over there Thursday night. Wrestling will be Friday. Usually starts early.
Go to Lango's. Get Bill Smith, aka Bill Smith. Go to Lango's right across from. I did get some heat for not putting Lango's on my top 5 pizza list. That's really good. Downtown Highland Langles. You guys want to get some really good wings? Go to Bridges Scoreboard. That was like the spot that you'd have to sneak into. That was like the bar club, like when I was in high school that everyone was trying to get into. And they got good chicken wings.
Nice.
Right there at Broad Street in Griffith. Bridges Scoreboard. You guys go there. Those guys are good people, and they support Indiana wrestling. You might see Joe Reitz there. The Reitz family. I know they used to be a Bridges Scoreboard people. So unless they had a falling out, then don't go.
Yes. So Iron Man, 9:30 a.m. on Friday. Ooh, man, I thought they usually started a little bit later. So they will wrestle through the quarterfinals, top 12. So it'll be a long day, intense. Saturday, it starts at 8:30. Ooh, man. Really? That's early.
I knew Saturday was early.
Yeah. So I guess I'm glad I'm getting over there Thursday night.
Bill Smith knows about Griffith. He'll give you guys a tour. I don't know where Griffith's wrestling at that weekend, but he knows a little about region food.
Yeah. So Iron Man again. Brownsburg is taking pretty much their full team. Let's see. Their teams from Indiana. I assume Avon has Bridge, Gels, and Rio. Cathedral will have Carver. Center Grove has the Browns and Hornsby. Lowell will have their 3 studs, Verduzco, Stanley, and Hazlett. Excited to see, it's always good to see someone like Hazlett, who heavyweights don't always get to see the best competition. Crown Point, I'm pretty positive they're taking their full team, if not everybody. Jensen Boyd from Delta, Lawrence North, Mikey White, and then Westfield will have Connor Maddox. So, they're going way down south to Bishop Chatard. Chatard's having a good little dual tournament. They're trying to, have the, one of those something where they can get team state teams to kind of compete and earn a spot. So, Iron Man, tough tournament. Excited to see all the Indiana guys there. It's always really cool because you're representing not only your school, but you're also representing Indiana. And it was pretty cool last year seeing some of the Indiana kids kind of cheering on the other kids in their matches and their big matches. And the Crown Point and Brownsburg, they are rivals, but in those matches in the blood round stuff, they're cheering for those kids, and they want to see the other teams have success and the other kids have success, and it's pretty neat to see as a fan of wrestling. It's Indiana comes together, and you're basically wrestling for Team Indiana at that point.
And I think a lot of those guys have grown up on the same teams, wrestling. Those parents are all pretty close. Like the high school, they want to win, but man, we're out with those guys. We know that they all like each other. They're all trying to hang out.
Yeah, unless it's right after state, because then one of them is not happy.
We did go to some sad after parties. Bringing down my vibe.
So, great event, and it's gonna be well ran. I believe. I don't even know if it's on track or flow, or it's on flow. I assume it'll be on track. Or their new next gen, which is an absolute cluster of a thing. So check that out this weekend. I'll be putting stuff out there as we get information, try to figure out the best way to. The Twitter is probably the best place to get kind of a little bit more play-by-play. But I'll be trying to keep up with all the Indiana kids, and it's a lot of wrestling, just super intense. It's crazy. First, this will be is this the 3rd or 4th year? I think it's the 3rd year. Or no, it's 4th year because Dickman was a 3-time placer now, or he was a 3-time placer, and he wrestled there his freshman year. So this is their 4th year, and it is pretty neat to see. The first year we went, it was one of those things that we didn't. It was like, man, Indiana versus Blair. You never thought, a Brownsburg versus Blair or Crown Point versus Blair would happen, and you see those types of matches. and you're seeing like Wyoming Seminary, Stillwater, Oklahoma versus Crown Point, that kind of stuff. It's pretty neat to see those, our guys wrestling with the top teams in the country.
So. Are the only two returning placers from last year that we have are Bell and Duck? I mean, I'm assuming Dickman's not going to wrestle. I'm sure somewhere Don Moretto is really excited that Revan Dickman's not wrestling this weekend.
Yes. I believe there are only placers returning.
And then Caesar made it to day 2 last year, right?
I think he lost in the blood round. So, we had a real good year last year as far as, placers and stuff. I think the first year we did pretty well too.
Yeah.
Second year we were okay. I don't think we didn't have the hammers. I think this year's going to be it's going to be I mean, it's always tough, and is
Kressel wrestling in it?
No. As far as I know, he's not. Because Iowa can't go there. I think they have a little bit more of a travel restriction.
They have something you had to touch. They had to be touching the state, right?
I believe they have something that they can't go too far. They can come to Indiana, but I think I don't even know if we could go there for their. I know we could get to Indiana within the 300 miles. I don't know if they would allow us. So So.
Because Michigan has something like that too, right? It has to be touching.
Yes, it has to be touching Michigan, so they can go pretty. Yeah. So, Pat, the current travel restrictions are 300 miles from any border you can travel to participate in an event, and they lifted the part. There's no limit on who you can wrestle at those events. There used to be a rule up until about 4 years ago where all the teams at the event had to be within that 300-mile radius too. So you have it's from any border. So since you're from Mishawaka area, you could go 300 miles south of Evansville, which you can get into Alabama. You get all of Kentucky, all of Tennessee. You get into Alabama. I think you can even get into Georgia if you're through the right border. But so you can get a pretty good swath of area to travel to. And the biggest thing is they lifted that restriction on the opponents, and that opened up Ironman.
Yeah.
I think there's been some other events where some Indiana teams have gone to where they haven't had to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. So it's pretty cool, and glad that first year that the Ironman let Brownsburg and Crown Point in, and should be fun to see Indiana kids here this year again.
Yeah. I think Indiana could have a handful of placers. I think we have some guys that are going to be right in that mix, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's going to be, I mean,
obviously, you would assume Bell and Ducking, 2 returning guys that were in the semis last year.
Yeah. See, the team my guess, you're going to have, you have Maddox. Maddox is, a Super 32 placer.
Yeah.
You have Ducking was a placer there last year. Daniel Brown's right in that mix. Case Bell, Verduzco is right in the, he's right there. Carver's, those are going to be hammer weight classes. So, Carver's wrestled at that level. He belongs there, and he's gonna
just won Tulsa, right?
Yeah, he's gonna win some matches. You're going to be in the toughest. Those are going to be some of the toughest weight classes. You got Don Brown, Colin Strayer at 26. Rio, he's had a ton of national success. Stanley's had national success. Gels is really, really good. I think he's right there. Braylon Reynolds, obviously you're going to have Clinton Shepard there. Shepard's, and then you have Hornsby who's a Fargo. So you're going to have Hornsby, Reynolds, and Shepard all at one weight class, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The Hazlett obviously will be in the mix. Mikey White will be in the mix. Salas will be in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those guys will be up there.
Dude, why isn't Jacob Reynolds at the Ironman? Nick,
dude, he's going viral on the Twitter sphere. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, Kevin, I know that Iowa has some I think like Mike said, they have to be touching. But
that's why the Illinois teams can go to the Donnybrook.
Yeah.
But
and then John Hook, I believe Indiana can get. I think we can go to the Power. I think the Powerade is like 290 miles from a border. I think I put it out there one time because you can get into like Pittsburgh and you can get just far enough. And I think you can get to Powerade. I think that's the one in Pennsylvania that you can get to. So it's one of those things that you could get into an event like that, and which is pretty cool for Indiana now that we can go to events like this and that stuff.
And I think this is like one of the really cool things, and it's cool that more teams are jumping on that. Mm-hmm. Like that, they're sending individuals or a couple guys, and I know we talked about it a little bit last week. I know some guys are going for the experience, but I think it's good that we're gonna be well represented, right?
Yep. Yeah, and a good cross section. We got some good big guys, some good little guys. It's gonna be a great day of wrestling, and I think we have some really good wrestlers that are gonna be there and hopefully they have great days. Hopefully they're ready because it's tough. It's a meat grinder, and you can't. It's one of those national level tournaments where you can't prepare that much. You can prepare, but you're not going to be doing a lot of scouting reports like you are the week of state. When you already have the brackets, you kind of can predict where your four or five guys are going to be that you're going to wrestle, and you can get some scouting reports. And here you're going to know a little bit of where you're at, but then you're going to have to do some quick scouting of minor things of trying to find a video on some kids and make sure that they're not, ripping headlocks left and right or, little things like that.
I was impressed a couple of years ago when the Clarks came right out of football. Like they were like a week in and then they both medaled.
Yeah. Yes.
That was pretty impressive.
And Paul should have been like in the semifinals. He was up. Oh man, he was up huge. And then I think the gas tank got him. Yeah. The football gas tank wasn't there, and you could tell. And that's one thing I was gonna say. At Westfield, saw Joe Maverick. He looked real good this weekend. He beat Lothamer, freshman sophomore champ, and I had totally like talking to Terry O'Neill, and it had just totally slipped my mind that they just got out of the football season. He had 5 practices in, and he's wrestling a guy that's a freshman sophomore champ, ranked right behind him and stuff, and wrestled a real good match. And I think towards the end, I think the gas tank hit him a little bit harder, but that's a good win for him, and I think he looked real good this weekend.
I think the more, you're getting some of those guys back really, really. We were talking about Maryville. Had a bunch of guys that played football that are getting guys back this past weekend, and they still have a couple guys out. You played in that last week. I'm sure New Pal's probably dealing with the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, they have some good. They have a lot of guys playing football, and so you're gonna start seeing some of those guys coming back, but it's gonna take a couple weeks to get recharged and get back in it. So.
Yeah, I think that's like what they said. Like this would always be like Cathedral's first weekend where their football guys would be close to being in shape from the Trikoff.
Yeah. So anyway, what else do we want to talk about? Any good rants this week?
I would appreciate if more people put their results in and not just put information and then acted like I should have known.
Yes.
Even if that's the case, you don't want to put your whole result in. Like, don't be upset about the result you're not giving me when it's not reflected in the rankings.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like don't do that. Well, the best Polish in the region, Home Depot, bro.
Mike's not touching ranking region food for at least 365 days.
Man, that's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not a joke. The Polish at Home Depot, you walk in there, man, They get me every time. It's like the smell comes and gets you in the nose and takes you over there.
The Home Depot. I've never had a Polish sausage from Home Depot.
Are you even living, man? Come on.
No, I do have to go to Home Depot if you want a parents square parent corner, I guess, story from this weekend. So Saturday night, trying to get, if anyone has kids, you tell them to go to bed. They usually just, oh, okay, I'm going to bed. They don't procrastinate. They don't try to do everything else. So that's a little sarcasm. So tell my son to go to bed because he has to wrestle in the morning, and he goes to the bathroom and he goes to get out of the bathroom and the door's not opening. And we're thinking he's just messing around. Come on, just unlock it. It's not opening. I'm trying it. He's trying it. The handle's moving, everything. Nothing's happening. So we're trying to figure out ways to get, how do you get him out of there? I'm like trying to, I'm not from the region, so I don't know. I'm not good at picking locks with the credit card,
You didn't call your wife in?
She's from the classier area in the region.
What? Where's she from?
She's from Cal City.
She's not. Don't lie. Don't lie to the
people. Well, she must have got she went to Marion Catholic or Marion, yeah. So she didn't get that the region education.
I got some hood in it too, man. Like I think Cal City, and someone tried to tell me Cal City was more hood than Gary one time.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know why. Like I had some friends that were like really offended by that. Like that they were like, "We're way trashier than Cal City, bro. Let's jump this dude."
You offended somebody saying that. That's good. So yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the way. I was like, okay, we're gonna have to have him unscrew the lock so we can get it open. And so we're there's a little bit enough room that I was able to get a bit, like a drill bit and and some pliers underneath there, so he was able to do it. And we finally got him out. And up the lock thing, the part in the lock had like broken. So you even when you're moving the handle, it wasn't opening the lock.
You could just like peel the like molding off and just like slip a screwdriver in there.
Well, I didn't want to destroy my molding and everything, so I was trying to at least trade. We live in a nice neighborhood. Come on, Victory Bay is a nice place. You've been here.
Dude, I just dealt with that. My water heater went out. I guess the like gas control meter went out. Oh man, it was bad. I was down there working on this thing, like trying everything, and then I caved in and called the plumber. And but man,
$7,000 later, and
it was like 600, but
yeah, that's still enough.
And man, but dude, you ever taken a shower so cold it like made your head hurt?
A few times, yes.
It was terrible.
Especially in the winter. That's even worse.
Dude, I was so sad.
Yeah.
So. I almost got a gym membership just to take a shower right here at any time.
Do the 7-day trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it took about an hour we got him out, and he was like, I don't want to die in here. I'm like, you're fine. You have water. You have a restroom. There's a lot worse places you could be locked in.
So. Just keep the door down like the police.
Yeah. Yes. Again, try not to do $5,000 worth of damage for a lock.
I'm sure one of these guys in there could come and fix a door for you.
And I think I know a couple people that could. So, yeah. So that's a fun adventure Saturday night when you're trying to get your kid to relax and go to bed. So, I do have a question.
Oh,
for me? This in the chat. Talk to someone about this one tournament coming up actually it's in January this year, the Al Smith. And I know we've talked about this before. Maybe, I don't know, should we? Yeah, we'll talk about it now. We got time. Should the Al Smith have out-of-state teams? It's one of the things I know we've talked about like offline before and stuff. And it's one of those things that it always comes up and it's like, man, they did fill in that last spot from what I gathered today. So no spot, Concord, I believe.
Oh, we said that.
Yeah. So, it's Concord. But should should they be looking for out of state teams? And I always go back and forth about it. For what's your? So we do have I believe Pat Day's helping out this year, so we'll see what he thinks. But
I think if we're gonna, I don't want to just add one. Like I think that if you just add one out of state team, it's like weird, right? Like I think if you're gonna add out of state teams, I think add like four out of state teams. But like I think it's. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to kill my guys at the Harvest Classic, but I think it's like you got Brother Rice in there, and they're like one. Like you couldn't find one Indiana team. Like it's not like Brother Rice is bringing 100 or 14 hammers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that it's an all Indiana tournament, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that it's like some of the best of Indiana. I do feel like you should probably rotate the bottom part of that out like every couple of years. If I'm a very strong proponent of if you're not bringing 10 wrestlers, like you probably don't, unless you're like bringing like 10, like 8, like absolute monsters. But like they should probably rotate those guys out on the bottom part of it. Like they're not doing themselves any favors. I know they like being part of the show, but also if you're not making guys day 2 and back-to-back years or 3 years in a row, you should probably change your schedule up. And it's not saying you can't be in there forever, but I don't know. I like that's an all Indiana tournament.
Yeah, I think if they do bring in out of state teams, it would you definitely vet them, make sure they're the solid teams that are bringing in 7 to 10 pretty solid state level kids, to match what the quality that's already there. And then on top of that, I always want to make sure that you're getting the Indiana teams that want to be there. And I look at teams like a Prairie Heights, that they go in waves of. They're not going to bring 14 hammers. They're going to bring 3 to 5 really solid kids. The other kids that wrestle, they're not going to be easy outs when you wrestle them. That's not a kid you want to draw in the consolations, because they're going to try to throw you and punch you in the face, and in a good way. But they're a tough team, so you never want to wrestle. But Prairie Heights, that's one of their premier events. They're always going to bring solid kids. They're always going to have contenders. I don't want to push a team like that out, unless they haven't, like you said, unless they haven't had a placer for 2-3 years and the cupboard's not looking very good. Then but at the same time, I think as long as you're not pushing those teams out, and you're looking at like the Indiana teams that want to, if the Indiana team wants to be there, I think they should almost get a little bit more priority.
I think it's such a good event. Honestly, it's a 2-day. Like you're getting a ton of good matches. The Wrestleback's nasty. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Like I'd like to see more areas of Indiana represented, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I would like to. Like I always say this about the Tri-Coff. Like I wish that like we would invite. I have nothing to do with the inviting. I have nothing to do with the seating. Mike Morgan just found out me and Dane aren't seating it. I would love to see like a good team from Lafayette there. Like I would love to see Harrison there. I would love to see, whatever this Rensselaer is really good right now. They've been really good at Logansport the last couple of years. Like someone from down in the Evansville area, which I think is criminally underrated. Not criminally underrated. Like I guess I do the rankings. That'd be on me. But we don't get to see them enough, right? Like I would like to see, like I know everyone knows Mater Dei, but like another strong team from that area. Like the year Tell City had all these good guys. Like I would love to see those guys come up. I think like represent those areas, like grab from the areas. Right now it's like the South Bend area and some of the region. And now like they're kind of going into Fort Wayne a little bit with Garrett and Homestead, and Carroll was there for a while. Snyder was there, but like now that like North Indy's there, I think like pulling some of the areas where you have some really strong individuals and bring those guys in, and some areas that are not represented normally, like a Floyd Central would be cool, because they have an area that maybe, I guess Columbus East is in there from there, but from that area, but like down in that Evansville corner, like the Lafayette area, whoever's the strongest Lafayette team. And I think it would be good for not only for Lafayette, but for South Bend, because you're going to see some of those guys at the semi-state.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I think I mean, definitely for us, for me and you, we don't see a lot in the South. So I always liked it when like Princeton was there. Princeton always had some solid kids. And Drake Stein was really good, and it was like one of those things like, oh yeah, you get to see someone like him go up against all those studs. So that's always neat to see. Definitely would, obviously like a Floyd or some other teams from down there in that area. You have a few. You have Bloomington South. You have Center Grove.
Yes.
Totally consider them a southern team. You have, like you said, Columbus East, but just a few more, maybe a few more from the Fort Wayne area. So it'll be interesting to see how it continues to evolve. I assume Benji's gonna continue to try to evolve, the event, and I think Steve did a great job with it. And just it's tough, and it's a great 2 days of wrestling. Mm-hmm. And it's been the premier event in Indiana for 30, 40 years, and it continues to be that. And I think it's the past 5 years, it's really jumped up a couple notches.
I always feel like it's like one of those things, and now like Fort Wayne's represented well, and Indy's kind of represented well, but it used to be like I felt like there was a strong like region, like, and a strong like South Bend. It would like be one of those things that you're kind of getting some of those semi-state matchups before you get down there, because you'd have Penn and Mishawaka and the South Bend schools when they were still pretty strong, mm-hmm. And then you would have the Valpost and the Holberts, and Portage wasn't there then. Portage used to be at Northmount with us. But I always thought that was East Chicago, when East Chicago was really good. They had the Maldonados. Like you had it was like a region versus South Bend kind of showdown, and now like you have like a nice Fort Wayne mix in there. I'm happy that Homestead was able to get in. I think they're going to be really good. I think like obviously Center Grove does a really good job. They've been good for years, but I think with like I don't know, like I always feel like give me the best team in those areas of the quadrants of the state, and then I want to see those guys in there.
Bring 16 regional champions. That's what you need.
Yeah, like
honestly, I mean, you bring 16 regional champions and fill in.
Well, and some like obviously some of those guys aren't going to go there, right? Like Brownsburg's not going to be there, but you got Center Grove. Like Mater Dei hosts their own thing, so Mater Dei is going to be there. But I would like, I don't know, I'd like to see some of those other. Like the years Delphi was really good, and they had Atwood and Leidy and those guys. I would like to have seen those guys at like an Al Smith, mm-hmm. When they had some really strong individuals. I mean, like right now it would be cool to see like Rossville there.
Yeah,
like Rossville would be a cool one where you have some really young, strong wrestling. That's kind of Lafayette area, but they go to Newcastle. But I think that's a good squad to get in there. So
there's a lot of good teams that you'd like to see there. That especially like Rossville is a perfect example of a team that's good. They're young. They have some hammers, and that we want to see those guys against the Crown Points and the Cathedrals and the Center Groves and the Garretts and all those teams. And you want to see those guys mix it up. So I mean, it's always good for rankings, but it's good for for everything else.
I know there was like some Michigan teams that were talking like was it Niles and like Lakeshore, and they also come to the Penn Superdome, the Henry Wilk.
Yeah.
And like I mean, how many times do you need to see Niles and Lakeshore?
Yeah.
Like I mean, like not to be like disrespectful, but I watched like Lowell and Detroit Central Catholic and who was the other Michigan's team come to Carnahan last year and get throttled a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is vetting the out-of-state teams, especially the ones that obviously we know who like some of the bigger programs are, and some of those teams don't take those events that seriously. Some of the Michigan teams, I know at the Carnahan, they didn't, like, oh yeah, they have some hammers, and then they only bring like
Davison pulled out a couple of years. Like they were like, oh yeah, we're bringing all these guys, and then like, oh, you know what? Like, we can't do it. Something came up. We're not going to be able to go. And it's like, and it's not like it's like a lack of talent. Because I think the last year they were invited was the year Bassett and all those guys were there.
Yeah.
Or it was like Shepard and Bassett, like in the quarters.
Yeah. So it's just an interesting thing. I know, it's going to evolve as it as it should, and things will, it's gonna be a fun weekend. Obviously, we have a lot more before that, but it's something I kind of thought about. Talking to some of the, getting some things ironed out for the Al Smith today. So as a heads up for those interested, so it's gonna be here way sooner than I want it to be. I don't think it's gonna be a busy few weeks. I guess I'll have like some Christmas holiday or something mixed in. So
I got team Christmas party, so I have to leave the track off a little early. I'm not gonna be able to stay for the final round, but I'm still gonna stop in.
Nice. So
I stop into the Travis Horn meet and greet at the Byway Brewery on Friday night. Coming back from my daughter has a college visit, my younger daughter, and then practice with the team, and we're gonna come there. I'm gonna have some beers with those guys, reminisce about how he eliminated me from the semi-state as a junior. I often thought about this because like Travis had a really good senior year. He got lost in overtime at the regional, and then he draws into Eric Keith, who ended up being the state champ that year. And everyone's like, "Man, Travis got a really bad draw." And I was like, "I had to wrestle Travis first, and if I would have been Travis, I'd had Eric Keith. Well, how's my draw not the worst?"
Yes, nice. So rankings. Let's see. Share my screen.
Oh, we're doing top 5. Let me go back to my ranking page. I wrote some stuff down today.
Oh man, you got prepared. Rex will be proud of you.
I had last week I went blind and I got hammered on this pizza vote, so I'm not going in. I'm gonna do a little bit of research.
Good idea. So we are ranking the top 5 things that coaches yell from the corner. So I think you went first last week. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I like my list. I got like 10 on my list.
Joe wanted to bring Watkins in to yellies at me.
To bring back some repressed memories.
If I did the top 5 things that Watkins yelled, there'd be there's some good ones. I got invited to do like they were gonna do because he retired, like a tribute show. And they're like, "Come in and tell some Watkins stories." I said, "Man, I got a lot of stories. I don't think I can tell on air. Let me see if I can figure some out that were like more
NSFW." So, Chris, pretty much kind of one of the best ones. Get up from bottom.
Yeah.
You yell that, and it's wow, kid's laying there and. I like the common ones of get up, like no, he's just sitting there laying there trying not to get up. So either that or GTFO. That was one that we used later, and I think the kids that need it, they understood it. So the token get up from bottom.
My number 5, and shout out to my boy Nick. We did a show for a little bit when Joe was extra busy with life. Nick ran a little bit of a show. Get off your back, my guys. We had that conversation before we went out there. Which the name of Nick's show is Squeeze. Anytime someone gets to their back, coaches just yell squeeze. I don't know if that's I don't know if that helps.
I don't think any of these really help. At least none of mine probably do. Yeah. So, I like the old the wisdom that is spouted from the coaching corner sometimes. 1, not 2.
I had that one on my list too. I'm gonna take it off there.
Oh man.
1, not 2. Yep.
That's the token from the when you're there. Give them 1, not 2. Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. Common sense things, but also one of those things that, as a coach, I probably yelled a gazillion times and never thought twice about it until now. I'm like, I was an idiot.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 1. I think mine's gonna go like in a stalling direction now. everyone loves scrambling up until you're almost about to get taken down, and the coaches just start yelling, "Watch the knee, watch the knee." Oh, okay. Not the whole time they're scrambling, just right now. You want them to stop it now. Just watch the knee.
Right as your kid's about ready, and it's always the kid that's about ready to get taken down.
Yeah.
It's not the kid that's going to get that.
Or you're about to give up a reversal. They're like, watch the knee there, watch the knee. Like the official's not. That's not his job, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yes, that's a good one. This is one of my favorites. He's tired.
Yeah.
I always love it when the coaches are yelling that he's tired, and his kid's just as dog tired, and he's like, it is a two turtles going back to the center, and he's tired. It's like, yes, I'm tired too. So
Watkins will tell you that one a lot. He's tired. Like you would run back to him like he's tired. Like wasting a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
I had another one here. When you're on it's kind of what Rex was saying. When you're on your back, when they just start yelling, bridge. Like, if that's something that we have to tell the kids when they're on the mat, that they're so unaware of how this is going that when you're on their back, you're just yelling bridge. I think we have bigger problems.
Yeah, it's a little late now to start working on technique. Yeah. Yes. I always love the coaches that are coaching the kids, like especially at the higher levels. Obviously, youth and middle school stuff. You're trying to, but it's like in the college level when I'm at NCAAs. I was actually just telling someone this yesterday. You're at NCAAs. I'm Matt side. I'm hearing what these coaches are saying, and some of these coaches are coaching through. Circle left, circle. Go to your left, head up. This. Like, if they don't know this at this point, you're in the quarterfinals of the NCAAs. I think we're kind of beyond trying to figure this out. So, this is a good one. I got two. This one's the last one's kind of a personal one. I've yelled multiple times, but this one's like, don't let him do that. When he gets a half in, because he's letting because you're technically really letting him. Yeah, here. Oh yeah, put that half in a little bit deeper. Don't let him do that. That's kind of something I would yell sometimes, but yeah, that's one of those, like, I don't think he's totally letting him do that, but
I feel like there's one, like, and this goes back to the stalling, right? When you go out of bounds and there's like 30 seconds left, coaches love to say, "Hey, look at the clock, circle here." So you're essentially saying, "Hey, make sure you stall here. You're going to stall without stalling, right? Stall without stalling here, circle." I feel like there's, you know what? Like, we don't have a top 5 things I don't like that officials do. I hate that, like, 5 seconds left, like, stall warning.
The hero stall call, as we like to call it.
No, not the, like, one that ties it up. Like, I think that, like,
yeah.
Like, hey, like, you've been stalling for the entire third period, and everyone's yelling for you to stall, and then, like, there's 5 seconds left. You're like, you know what? He is stalling. Let's give him a warning here. Let's just give him a warning. Like, we
had that happen one time at semi-state. I think it was in the semis, and we already had to get the other kid got a stall call already, and then we're barking, stalling the whole third period, just like that. And about 5 seconds to go, the ref goes stalling again, but he forgot that he gave a stall call, and then it tied it up. So we're arguing like, yeah, that's 1 point. He's like, no, it isn't. That's my first stall call. And I'm like, no, and we're like, no, you gave it. And they went, they looked on track and like, yeah. And the ref was like, oh crap. He thought he was just giving that, I always call that the hero one of, oh yes, it means nothing. Thank you for the stall call with 5 seconds left in the match. So, so my last one, I remember I yelled this way too many times, but one of the times I was yelling it at a kid, and ref was, I think a ref about swallowed his whistle when he heard it because he busts out laughing. I was telling him, like, circle left, and he went right. So I go, no, your other left. So the ref about, he looked over me, just started laughing.
That is tough. That one is tough.
So I think that the ref after the match, he's like, I couldn't hold it in there. He's like, your other left. So I yelled that multiple times in random tell them to go this way, they go the opposite way. Go, no, your other right. So no, your other left. Yeah, that was actually one of my classic ones. Trying to help kids get in position and they go the opposite way.
I have my one, but I have a couple other ones that like we didn't hit on, and I was trying to leave them. Don't reach back. They love the don't reach back.
I had that one on my list. I had squeeze also. I did remove that one.
The other one I thought we were gonna get was half. Anytime someone's there, half. Half.
Yes.
I like it when parents are in the stands when you're in there and they just start saying like, get mad. Get mad. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, he's like, if he's get mad, he's going to be better. Get mad. Get mad. Like, all right. Yeah. I think when they're counting, when coaches like start counting, anytime like there's a situation and they just start counting to the official, I think that's always weird. Like the official forgot how to count to 5. And then they go past that,
Yeah.
And then my number one that I always feel like coaches say, and I'll give you one in Rex kind of. Watkins, if you were backing up, if you were tired, he would let them know that you're tired also. He would say, hey, you're tired. You're stalling. You're stalling. It's like, hey, man, their coach is saying I'm stalling. You're saying I'm stalling. So he didn't say that to me a lot, honestly. I didn't. Like, I was too stupid to stall. I wish I knew how to stall better. No, not that one. That's not my number one. My number one is
that's not it. Oh.
No, that was a Jim Watkins special.
Okay.
When they say wrestle, like when you're on the line, they just say wrestle 3 times. Like I don't know why. Yeah. Like they love to just say like everybody, like wrestle here, wrestle. Like what are they gonna do? Like, for a match. I gotta tell you, yeah, we don't show that. Like do moves at work.
Two moves that work. We don't even show that. Yes, that is it. I also had free move.
A lot of locked hands.
Yeah.
We need to get an official on and do a top 5 of what do you get called to the table for the most.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, he's tired. He's tired. Stalling. Oh, where are your hips at? Same place they have been.
I was thinking this during the I think it was Iowa State duel, and I know it happens way more in high school. I feel like the second time in a match that you go to the table to question something, I feel like the other wrestler should get the choice.
Yeah,
like I think like the second time in a singular match, if you say, hey, like I'm going to the table to like question whatever, like then you usually let the other wrestler get choice. I don't like it when coaches call injury time for kids. Like I think you see that way too often. Like when kids are not like calling their own injury time, and then the coach is like, can we get some injury time here? Like you guys were so in sync that you knew that he was hurt, that his injury was happening right now. You didn't see anything happen. That has got out of bounds, and you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna just call injury time for my guy so he can get a drink of water. We can talk this through.
Yeah,
I always think that's weird. I know my Maryville guys got some hurt feelings on that one. I know that's a sensitive topic from about 7 to 10 years ago. They weren't happy about that. Go out of bounds. Coach calls injury time. Not even talking to the kid.
Hey, that's that sixth sense. But yeah, that's a good one. Some of these people you got to shoot. I love I was sitting up in the stands and you just hear the random things that parents yell, and it's like Granby, they're neutral. That when they yell a random move that like they have no reason doing in that position, and it's like, okay, just relax. They're not going to hear you. Number one, number two, your yelling's not helping anything.
I feel like Portage used to do a really good job before Ed, and Ed did too. But Larry Tharp used to get his crowd going. Like he'd be quick to call stuff. Bro, they were quick. I think Riley's a really good coach. I think Reedfield Central is going to be really good for them. But in that Hawkins and Donald Bowie match last year at the Al Smith, what was that? Was that the quarter or the semis? That was the semis, right?
Semis, yeah.
And dude, in the first like 15 seconds of the match, they were calling stalling. They were like hand up, stalling. I'm like, man, I don't doubt that he wasn't trying to attack right there, but like neither guy was really attacking, right? Like, it's not like you were just firing off shots, but like they got that stall call. But man, like you get that crowd behind them, and you get everyone like there. Like I feel like sometimes you can't sway a stall call there.
Yeah, that was a rowdy match.
It was.
So yeah,
the weekend for Donald Bowie.
Yeah, I can't wait to put this one. I think we'll get some good comments on this. I love the good comments. We don't even show that. Yes, that one I think I've said.
Fix your face. Like yeah. I told some of the girls that. I know I've heard other coaches say that. Like,
I'm gonna try to use some of these when my son's wrestling. See if he
shake his head. Dude, I've seen that before. Man, I remember one time a kid lost. It wasn't anyone from our team. It wasn't my coaches. A kid lost, and they took his like clothes and just kind of tossed him to the side. And I remember thinking, like, dang, bro, dude just lost, and now he's getting this. Like, they're not even gonna hold his like stuff for him. They just tossed it off to the edge. I've heard coaches tell people like you deserve to lose. So, I mean, the closer you get to the mat, you hear some wild stuff, man. You really do hear some wild. You hear some things that like, and like you sit in the crowd, like you hear parents don't know. They don't really know better all the time. They just yell random stuff.
Yes. Yeah. It is one of the hardest things. And I've, trying to explain to my wife a little bit more, trying to make it, and she understands wrestling and everything, but it's like, you're literally sending your kid out there for a legalized straight fight and you can't do anything about it. Man. I mean, and that's what you're doing. And then now you have girls wrestling where you're sending your baby girl out there for a legalized street fight and you can't do it. You're literally saying, hey, little princess, I remember you used to play princesses 8 years ago. Go fight this other girl. I mean, that's what you're basically telling them to do.
Yeah.
If you put it as simple as possible, they're going for a legalized street fight. There's no punching, no kicking, but you're trying to beat the other, inflict legalized discomfort and pin the person against their will.
I just assume that my parents don't love me. They're like, this kid's out of control. Let's send him out there so the other kids can whoop him.
Then when you won, you're like, oh, they're like, oh crap.
Nah, man, like that was like 50-50. It was better than that, but
yeah.
No, and yeah, it's tough, right? My girl doesn't have any desire to wrestle, so but I mean that's anything. Like you love your kids, man. You don't want to see them fail in anything. Like it doesn't matter if it's wrestling, if it's football, if it's anything. But man, yeah, like I it's just one of those things. Like I don't know. I mean, Rex said it a little bit further down. Like I don't know. I didn't ever really hear anything out there like that. I mean, I never heard anything very clear, and I probably had I'll tell you, we had probably the loudest coach.
Yes.
Like Jim Watkins, sometimes that mic would go out, and he'd just be like, "I'm just going to talk." And he's got a pretty booming voice. He definitely knew. Though, there was one that I did leave off the list, and it's not like a match thing, but when they tell you to step on the scale on Monday, hey, everyone on the scale, that's like your heart drops. You know that you just ruined it. Like you just like killed the day for your boys. Like all your friends know, and their eyes like shoot right over to you, and Like,
I know some of my former wrestlers know that I didn't even have to say much. We would check weights, and I didn't have to say much because usually the ones that I knew were going to be not where they should be, they just got to look, and it was
we had Sean Begley, who New York guy, real big dude. He helped out Crown Point a little bit, wrestled the Citadel, and Watkins. And those guys, like there's someone that's going to step on that scale, and they're going to tell you, and I don't cuss a lot on the show, but they're going to like thank you for letting everyone have an ass beater that day. That it's going to be a hard practice, and whose like fault it was, or several people. But like when they say, hey, everyone on the scale, you're like, it. This sucks. You're like, please someone be higher than me. Please someone be higher than 10.
You don't want to be this kid. You probably already knew the 2 or 3 culprits that you knew who the guys were.
Oh yeah, you're like, and it's the dude that like steps on and just steps right off. Like he already knows, like, hey, you step on, step right off. Like, hey, I'm 10. Don't worry about it.
the Calumet scale.
Man,
taking names.
Dude, like it probably broke more people during practice. I'm telling you, you would have to go down there, and it was tough, man. Like you would know, like that was the one. Like I remember there was a time where we would have late days. Like we had a couple coaches that worked in the union, and we would go 2:30 to 3:30 because we had a lot of guys that if they didn't have that 1 hour of doing homework time, they were going to be ineligible. So like, and sometimes it just turned into like getting roasted and becoming mentally tough, I guess, and messing around. But like a lot of times people were doing
street. It was street knowledge. You're getting educated on the street.
It was like mental warfare in there, right? And yeah, so that we would have, dude, I'll tell you about Christmas break too. We would have 2:30 to 3:30 study table, and then 3:30 we'd start at 4. We go 4 to 6. So like, and then like at 5:50, you kind of had an idea you're going to be on the line, and if you don't hit that line to like do sprints at 5:50, you're about to go to like 6:30, 6:45. And if you complain, they're just going to like make you go longer. Like I wanted to be like, don't you guys have families? Don't you guys want to go home? On Christmas, you would have to do, and we had to like, again, I don't know how Carol is. I don't know how your guys' education program is. Like, you have some kids that are struggling with grades. Like some kids that like I'm surprised they graduated. I have several teammates that I'm surprised they graduated. Over Christmas, you would have an 8 to 10 practice, then 10 or 11 to noon, you'd have study table. You'd have to stay there and do classwork. And Watkins would send an email out to all of your teachers and say, whatever they don't have, even if you're going to give them no credit for it, they'll do it over Christmas break. Nice. And you had to do the second practice after that. So like you were there the whole day. You don't really get a Christmas break. And like bless his heart too. He didn't really get a Christmas break either.
Yeah. That's a lot of time there. So.
Yeah, you didn't get to see the sun a lot. I think that's now we found out that's bad for you, right? You need to get like
yes.
The sun gives you nutrients.
Yes. Oh, nice. Yeah. So some great coaching stories. Anything else we want to go over for this week? Lots of great wrestling. Report your results.
Yeah, well, I'll try to get the semi-state rankings out tomorrow. I'm trying to give the semi-state rankings a little bit of time for everyone to get them in, whether it's Fort Wayne or you said who's tournament tomorrow, Fort Wayne?
Fort Wayne, I have them. I just have not. We had to go to Costco tonight, so I was not able to.
And that's a journey in itself.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But
yes,
go ahead.
So we were just. It's like trying to figure out what day you could do something, and it's like I got to do it tonight, or it's not going to be till after Christmas.
I'm trying to let everyone get their semi-state rankings going. So my East Chicago one should be out tomorrow, and then I'm hoping to have the state rankings by Wednesday. So if there's anything you guys need to get in result-wise, if there was some match that you guys wrestled XYZ at the Grizzly Bear Open 2 years ago and you don't understand why, go ahead and send me that email. Grizzly Bear Nationals or whatever nationals, the Supreme National Duels or the Outlaw National Duels, or everyone's got a nationals. It's like softball and baseball.
Yeah, state championships and all that. Yes. So, good luck this weekend. I'll be at Ironman. You're obviously going to the
old stomping grounds,
Calumet New Tech High School.
Dude, I hope they increase the Wi-Fi in that gym.
If they're New Tech, they better have some Wi-Fi.
Dude, we had hardwire in that corner, though, boy.
I remember broadcast one year out of there. That was not good.
I like it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I hope they still have the racquetball rooms. The upstairs gym.
The picture I saw, I mean, that place looks really nice.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Their football field's nice. They're putting a lot of money into their athletics, which is cool.
Yep.
Hopefully
So
the
that's
coaches,
cool.
teachers are making money.
It should be a great day of wrestling. So remember, report results, send anything, get some rankings out this week, get some power polls. Everyone loves those power polls.
I know. I'm excited. Taking Dickman out of the mix, like kind of tighten that race up a little bit. It went the other way in Evansville.
Yeah, Evansville dropping him out. You know, you got Center Grove has a slight lead now. So that gets a little, and it is obviously there's no guarantee that he comes back. I'm guessing he's going to come back.
We're about to get an angry text message in 10.
Yes, I'm pretty. We expect him to come back, but we're also not. If he doesn't, that's going to be interesting. So it's going to be, obviously we'll see how things shake out, and it could be a real tight team race at their regional, at their semi-state. State, it's going to be, you're going to possibly get, those Crown Point and Center Grove kids, they'll be separated, and they could also run into a Crown Point kid in the quarters or first round. So it's always one of those things you look further down the road and see what kind of.
You get to go see some of my favorite people at the not the Carnahan, but the Ironman. The Rios and the Newells and Joe Stanley. My guy Joe Stanley is going to be there.
Yeah,
representing Lowell.
Hopefully Friday night gets over a little bit earlier than 2 years ago when it was past midnight. So, and I think they're starting. It seems like they're starting a little earlier. So maybe we'll get done. It's just a long day of wrestling, and just going there and get some good information, talking to people, hanging out, and we'll get.
Salas is in there. You can go work. You're gonna go jump in with Jake Salas, go clang and bang. I'm sure he's gonna have that hotel weight room going.
I don't want to take any of the weight away from him. But there's usually not enough for guys like him. He's scraping the. I mean, he's adding like 106 pounders to the bar just to make get a workout in. So I don't want to take any of those.
They're like 219 gorillas too, right? We need to get Jake Salas. Sure, we'll rock that thing on here.
Yes. See, I do have this is one of the newer sweatshirts.
That's nice. I don't have that sweatshirt.
This is brand new. This is my daughter designed this actually.
It's pretty nice.
She's a little budding graphic artist. She's done a couple of the graphics, so shout out to her. She makes sure my graphics are good, and she'll brutally critique them. So if you ever need a graphic critiqued, give her a call.
I think that's what. I'm not sure what their thing is, but they definitely have some dudes that can lift some weights. I thought it was like 219 gorillas, like him, and I think Anthony Quiros and those guys. So I can't find it, but I think they got some shirts that have some gorillas on it with some guys lifting weights.
Nice. We'll talk to them. We got some time. We'll have some time to relax and talk this weekend. So. Anyway, well, everyone have a great week. We'll be back next Monday and have a lot to talk